So you've probably seen me in videos with my cane. Sometimes I'm walking around with it, sometimes I'm just kind of holding on to it while I sit at the couch or whatever. And you're probably wondering if I in fact need this thing to walk. The answer is sometimes I do. I had planned to put a video out for Veterans Day telling more stories about when I was in the military. That clearly didn't materialize. But I'm on Twitter, and Trista Bites had put up a video, or not a video, she put up a tweet talking about having hurt her knee and wondering, should I let this go or should I go to a doctor? And my response to her was, you absolutely need to go to a doctor, because I screwed my knee up by not going to a doctor. So I figured I'd come on here today and share that story with you. This is around 2004 in Okinawa once again with my buddy Luca. We decided to go for a run one night, and we had not conditioned ourselves for running. Marathon runners, they train and they train and they train to get their bodies conditioned. We didn't do that. We're just being a couple of jerk tough guys. I'm like 20, he's 22 or something at the time, and we just like, let's go run till we just, we're tired. So we take off from Camp Kinser, pretty much do a loop around the base, go down to Kokosai Street, come back around, do another lap around the base. Mapping it out on Google recently, it turns out our path ended up being about 8 miles, a little bit more. So we're used to doing 3 or less, and here we just did 8. Well, the next day I can barely walk, I'm limping around, and I'm like, I think my muscles are just tired. It'll correct itself in a day or two. A couple weeks go by, it doesn't correct itself. Everyone's like, you should probably go to medical. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm young, it'll heal. And so I eventually just get a knee brace, stick it on there, and I never went to medical for this. And it wasn't too much of a problem. Later on, by the time I'm like 24, 25, I start having problems with both. That same knee gets worse, and my other knee starts acting up because I'm starting to develop arthritis from all the things I'm doing, like running like that, among other things. So this gets to be a problem. About the time I'm 30, 31, it gets to the point where I do finally see a doctor, and he's like, yeah, you've completely screwed these up. It doesn't say much. He's just like, it's arthritis. You've really screwed these up. He's like, you work in a factory. You're standing on a cement floor all the time. He's like, that's just going to make it worse. He's like, you might want to consider getting a cane and using a cane sometimes. So whenever my knees are bad, I use a cane. And for the most part, it's good, but it's like when the weather changes, like from fall into winter and the winter into spring, that's when it's usually the worst. But this last year, it was just terrible. It was like all summer long. I've been using this thing more than you would think. It went from, maybe 1 to 2 weeks total out of the year to I probably walked this for about half the year. When I'm at home, I don't use it. If I'm going to work, it's usually not a problem. There were actually a couple of nights this year I did have to take it with me to work a few times. Usually I'll just put a brace on it or whatever. But yeah, it was really bad this year. So I go to my doctor one day for just a regular checkup, and I got the cane with me at the doctor, and the doctor's never seen me with the cane, so I explain it. She's like, hey, we got this chiropractor. You mind if he looks at your knee? I was like, all right. So he does a couple of tests on both my knees, and he's like, okay, man. He's like, first off, you definitely have arthritis in both knees, and it's pretty bad, even though you're still fairly young. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I knew that. He says, here's the other thing. He goes, I can't confirm this unless we do like a CT scan. But he goes, from what I can tell from these adjustments from this in the story you told me about this long run you did this one time, he's like, you tore your meniscus. That's why it took forever to heal, and you didn't get it treated. It didn't heal properly. And he goes, that's why you're still having problems. That's why it doesn't move correctly. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I really should have gotten that checked out, especially because, now that would be on my military record, and I could get that taken care of with the VA. And he's like, yeah, that would be good. He goes, but it's probably worse than you think. He goes, again, you'd have to do a CT scan. I'm guessing you don't want to do it because it's money I have to pay out of pocket and everything. He's right. He's like, from what I can tell, you probably tore the thing in at least 2 places, possibly 3. He goes, you basically shredded this thing. You didn't let it heal properly. Yeah, you screwed it up. So, moral of the story, definitely go to the doctor and get that stuff taken care of, because, you might be in your 30s walking around with one of these at times, and like, I live on a 2nd floor, and let me tell you, stairs, they're not just a pain in the butt in Castlevania for me anymore.